Hi, everyone. We are joined by IBF welterweight titleist Jaron Ennis, who is getting ready for his homecoming fight against David Avanesian at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Saturday, July 13 on DAZN. Jaron, this is going to be your Matchroom boxing debut, headlining fight in your backyard, first world title defense, a lot of things going on. How have you been preparing for this big moment?
Just the same way I prepare for everything else. Just taking my time. Thinking camp. Just doing little more hard work. That's all.
Mhm. David Avanesian, he's competed at the world level a long time. Do you actually see him as a tougher test than Cody Crowley, who he's replacing?
I think he a better opponent, but I think Cody tougher.
We saw Avanesian get knocked out by Terence Crawford. He came in there as a heavy underdog. Do you feel like you have to outperform Terence Crawford's performance in this one and definitively get Avanesian out even earlier?
Nah, I'm not worried about nobody else. I'm worried about myself. I'm just glad to be back in the ring and be able to, put on a show for my friends, family, and supporters. I'm gonna do me regardless. So I ain't worried about what nobody else got going on.
What's been the hardest part with some of the inactivity? I know you've dealt with it throughout your career at certain points, but this will be almost a year since you last fought. How have you been keeping sharp? And you're in the prime of your career. How have you been keeping sharp as well?
Just by staying in the gym, staying focused, staying level headed, just being in the gym, and not overthinking things. Man, let everything just fall into place.
And of course, this is a homecoming fight. Homecoming fights often bring a lot of pressure, potential distractions, and even pitfalls to fighters. I mean, we saw it most recently being the case for Subriel Matias in Puerto Rico. How has the experience been for you, just going through this entire promotion and kind of dealing with some of the added pressure as well?
Everything been great. Everything been going on perfect. There's no pressure. I'm glad to be fighting at home. I love fighting at home. That's what I'm comfortable with.
This is also the first time you're defending the IBF welterweight title. Is there any kind of sour taste not earning the title in the ring? I know you were elevated and Crawford was stripped. Is there any kind of like sour taste getting the title that way?
I mean, it definitely. I mean, it is what it is. Like it was out of my control. Definitely didn't want to win the belt that way. And I rather beat the man and take the belt from him than be handed the belt. But it was out of my hands, and nothing I could really do about that.
And obviously now you control the trajectory of your career as a future champion. Do you strongly believe a fight with Terence Crawford could happen by 2025?
Uh, I would hope, but he right now he at 154 doing fighting at his weight division and about to fight for some belts, and I'm at 147 trying to become undisputed, which I'm going to do. So yeah, in the future, yeah.
And that was naturally one of my other questions. I mean, Spence and Crawford, they've been the face of the welterweight division for so long. Now they're
Yeah.
moving to 154, and you become the star of the division now. And but I'm also curious, how soon do you want to move to 154 and put some pressure on them to fight you there?
Um, right now my main goal is to collect the belts at 47, be undisputed at 47. I want to fight the best guys, top guys, but you see how those things went. So right now my main focus is just collecting all the belts to be undisputed at 154. I mean 147, and then move up to 54, do the same thing at 54.
And you made a very big decision for your career to get to that stage by signing with Matchroom. I'm curious, why did you choose Matchroom instead of PBC?
I went what was best for my career. You know, just yeah, I like how Eddie moves his fighters. I like the things he do and the way he treats his guys. So I just went that way.
What's been the biggest difference working with Eddie compared to Al and some of the other management that you've worked with?
Um, I'm not comparing. I'm not comparing nobody. I like Eddie. Eddie. He do the talking for me, and I don't gotta really do too much talk. I do the talking in the ring. Eddie already know I don't talk too much now. So yeah, I'm glad I got Eddie behind me. He talk. more than I do. You know, he got an engine, and that's all that makes perfect for the 2 period.
And with obviously aligning with Matchroom, the other two champions in Barrios and Staniosis, now that they've picked up the belts that belonged to Crawford back in the day, they're aligned with PBC. Do you think those kinds of title unification fights could happen for you?
Yeah, most definitely. This fight, they gonna have. You gotta stay tuned. You know, after I handle my business on Saturday night, and I get this win, I do it in a big statement. You know, that's my goal. You know, I'm not looking past David Ennis. My main focus is him right now. And after I win, you know, and doing it in a big statement, I'm or my next goal is to be, you know, unified champ. So I'm coming for the rest of the belts.
And we talked about 147 losing its star power. Who do you think is the second best fighter outside of you in the division right now?
I'm not sure. My main focus is me right now. You know, I'm focusing on myself. You know, and trying to better myself. I ain't really worrying about who's behind me or things like that.
You know, there's a legendary fighter out there, 147 pounds, who's entertaining the idea of a return, the one Manny Pacquiao. I know Eddie Hearn has tried to get a fight with him and Conor Benn and some other people. Have there been any conversations about you potentially facing Pacquiao in his comeback fight?
And nothing that come across my table yet. You know, and if it do, you know, I'm gladly gonna take it.
This fight with Avanesian, what are you looking to prove? Again, it's been a year since we last saw you. What are you looking to remind the fans as far as who Jaron Ennis is as one of the top pound for pound fighters in the world?
I'm just excited to be back in the ring. You know, I'm putting on a beautiful show like I always do. You know, ready to get this, the ball rolling. The ball rolling. You know, I'm ready to put on a beautiful show. You know, have fun. You know, look great doing it and get a stop. You know, get a knockout. That's my goal. So Saturday is gonna be a statement. So I'm just trying to put 147 on notice right now.
We saw this past weekend, Shakur Stevenson had a similar opportunity, homecoming fight. Didn't really look exciting, didn't have that statement win. Do you want to make sure that you put on a performance people talk about, people remember, takes over Sports Center as a top highlight? Is that in the back of your mind as well?
Like I said before, I'm ready. I'm ready to get in the ring. And I'm ready to put on a show. That's what I'm gonna do. Put on a show and get the knockout.
Gotcha. So the knockout is there. Do you want to get in some rounds, or do you want to make quick work?
I mean, I'm not gonna look for a knockout. I want to let it come to me. You know, I'm gonna have my fun and do my thing. You know, and let it come to me. And put on a beautiful show for my friends, family, and supporters.
What do you think Avanesian does well?
Honestly, I don't really know. I guess you could say pressure. I guess he kind of fight like my last opponent, but he's just not as big. You know, he kind of felt like Villa, but he has a smaller version of that. You know, and Ebenezer, all he do is strip pressure and don't really move his head and things like that.
It sounds like you're worried about more what you can do rather than what the opponents can do to you.
Yeah, I'm not too worried or focused on what they. I mean, I am focused on what they're doing, but in the back of my mind, I'm just trying to, pick them apart, beat them up, break them down, and like I said, get that knockout.
You have one of the more unique bodies and frames and skills in boxing. How big do you think you could get and fight? How many divisions do you think you could conquer by the time it's all said and done?
My goal is to be undisputed at 47, 54, 60, and 68. I think I'll probably max out at 68.
Wow, that'll be quite the story. 4 division champion by the time it's all said and done. You're still in the prime of your career, haven't even reached the age of 30 yet. Jaron, thank you very much for taking the time. Good luck to you against David Avanesian, July 13 at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Homecoming fight for you, and I'm sure you want to show up and show out for the fans.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Definitely gonna show up and show out. Make a big statement.